Hi, I'm Johnny. Welcome back to Bork. I'm going to talk this week about Cif. Cleaning is very dear to my heart. If you speak to my girlfriend or mother, they'll tell you. I'm constantly cleaning. The house is spotless when I'm around, and generally I'm a domestic god. But obviously there is a downside to cleaning as well. I have to admit it. So basically, bottles like this. Not this one, but plastic spray bottles are what lots of our cleaning products come in. And things like Mr. Muscle, it's not just Cif, so you've got things like Mr. Muscle or Domestos or whatever bleach or cleaning products you use. They generally come in plastic bottles like that, and I'm guilty of it, you're probably guilty of it too. When you've used up the bottle, it might be pretty gross by then because it's been in your bathroom or whatever, you've been using it to clean. You just chuck it in the bin and go and buy a new one. And that's actually pretty bad for the environment because depending on how much you clean, if you clean a lot like I do, you get through these products at a rapid rate. So you might use those products up and you're throwing the plastic bottles, usually just probably into the bin, instead of washing it out and put it in the recycling. If it's like a bottle of extra strong bleach or something like that, I think a lot of people probably just chuck that in their normal bin, thinking it can't be recycled, or maybe it can't because of all the chemicals, and that's wasted then. And especially with bottles like this one, where you have a spray on the top, these bottles can actually last for 5 years, and it's quite an intricate design. See, there's a trigger and there's kind of mechanism in here. So if you're throwing away this after every use, you're actually wasting quite a lot of engineering and kind of plastic that has gone into the construction. So it can last 5 years, probably lasts the average person, I'd say 2 or 3 months. So that is literally like 20 or 30 times the amount of plastic that you need to use is actually being used and thrown away in spray bottles. Cif, which is a Unilever brand, has a range of products, so bathroom, kitchen, whatever. And this one is bathroom power and shine, but basically, again, I don't know if you can see it, but Tia will zoom in for us. Here you can see, reuse this bottle for life. I think life's a bit of an exaggeration. So basically, Unilever has produced these small things, again, if you look at, Tia will put an image up on screen here. But these small white things that basically screw onto the top where the nozzle goes on, when the bottle's empty, of course. You fill it up with water to about here, sorry. So when the bottle's empty, you fill it up to water with about here, and then you screw your refillable sections that you buy from the supermarket onto the top. That pours in here and gets diluted, and then at the end result basically is Unilever says that it's exactly the same as what's in the bottle once it's already been diluted. But obviously it comes in a much smaller plastic packaging, so you keep this bottle and you just buy, I don't know how big it is, but it's about this big, a couple of inches, the eco refill thing. You screw that on, and that's made of recycled plastic. It's way smaller than this. It has no intricate mechanism on the top which uses lots of plastic, and you basically screw that on and that gives you a whole new bottle without having to throw this one away. So it's very good for the environment, both in terms of being made out of recycled plastic, and it's fully recyclable, of course. And so it uses less materials that are going to sit around in landfills for potentially hundreds of years, polluting the environment. So I think that's a very good step, personally. And it also has the added benefit of, there's much less water there's much less volume basically that has to be transported around in lorries, because imagine a lorry full of these. I don't know how many you'd get, 1,000 or something like that. Say you get 1,000 in there. Compared to that, you're going to be able to get 10,000 bottles of eco refill. So that's way less lorries driving around on our roads, pumping out way less emissions. So that's actually an unexpected benefit of this as well. It's not just cleaning up plastic, it will actually be cleaning up our atmosphere as well. Unilever actually says that bottles like this, the eco refill scheme, is going to remove about 1.5 million plastic bottles from supermarket shelves. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good effort there for the environment. It's going to take those out of landfills as well. I think it's a great idea, personally. I think as long as people actually, bother to get involved with it, I think the only shortcoming of the scheme is going to be human laziness, where people just go to the supermarket and, just because they're used to buying a bottle like this, they will just pick up a bottle like this instead of buying the eco refill. But according to Unilever research that I actually have right here, 62% of the public say that reuse is actually more important to them than recycling, which is quite interesting. I think we hear a lot about recycling, probably more than reuse. But obviously, if you're reusing something, there's no need to recycle it at all. I think that's even better, to be honest, because you don't need to spend all of the energy used in the recycling process if you're just reusing something straight up. And then 83% of the public want more access to refillable products in general. So this will fit into that. And that could cover a whole range of things, really. That could be your favourite cereal. You go to the supermarket and you open a tap and it pours out. It could be filling up bottles of soap or shampoo from massive tankers at the supermarket again. I think that would actually be even better, to be honest, if one day all of these companies could kind of transition to a way where instead of having to buy this plastic little refiller, you could either buy a fully biodegradable one, but I'm not sure how well that would hold cleaning products, or you could actually go to, say, a big cleaning product shop and open a tap and just fill up your bottle. And it could be a metal bottle or something like that, rather than a plastic one anyway. Of course, that would require a massive change in the way we do everything, in the way our society is structured, to have all of our products kind of in these tanks that you can go and refill from. But you never know. It looks like climate change and the environmental crisis might demand a big change in how we do things anyway, so who knows, that could be in the future. Of course, it's all very well and good with people saying, oh, I'd love to be more environmentally friendly, I'd love to be more green, but it's hard to do that if it's more expensive or if you don't have the money to do so. So thankfully, Cif has made these eco-refill pouches actually cheaper than buying a new bottle of Cif. So that will encourage people to actually take the greener route, I think, even if they don't care about sustainability. That's enough of my opinion anyway. We actually went out onto the streets around Muswell Hill, which is where our office is based, to talk to people in the public, walking around, coming out of supermarkets, going in, to see what they thought of this product, basically, and whether they would actually be bothered to use it, whether they think it's important to save the environment. So yeah, check out what they thought.
We're really trying to cut down on plastic, so anything that avoids recycling one of those every few weeks, we'd totally do that. Yeah, 100%.
So you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a brilliant idea. Like you said, that's exactly what we've been trying to do, is reduce our plastic. It galls me every time I put something in, even just in the recycling, that's exactly what I want. And also for shampoos and conditioners, I want more shops that allow you to go in and just fill up. I mean, I feel like that's got to be the future now.
Well, I think that in general, sustainability is incredibly important. And I think innovations like these have to be made. I don't know whether making the smaller bottles in plastic is very good. Maybe there's some other kind of material that they could use. But in general, I mean, if it would reduce my plastic use, then I would buy it.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, some people might not bother to go back to the shop and you have to dilute it with water and refill it. Would you bother?
Would I bother? Yeah, I think I would. I think it's important enough to do that.
Are you worried about plastic pollution in general?
Yeah, very.
What kind of problems do you think it causes, and how important is it?
How important is it? Well, when the oceans die, all the fish die, I won't be able to get my salmon, my tuna. I'll be very upset. So I think it's very important. Plus, the other animals eat fish, so the whole ecosystem will degrade. Bad thing.
Cool. So do you think most people on the street would, do they care enough?
Do they care enough?
Or are they too lazy?
No, I think the mood's changing. People are caring more and more. So I think it's a good thing.
I've been working as a nanny and housekeeper for many years, and I think people don't spend time to do so because they're lazy, and also they don't have time for it. So they will order an Ocado or whatever the shop they order, and they would recycle them. And especially with a household with children, they won't have time to do so. And even for myself, if it maybe save me money, maybe I will try, but I don't think I will have time to do it.
Okay, so as you saw there, the residents of Muswell Hill are pretty interested actually in using refillable products like this Cif one. Most of the people said they would be interested for the sake of cleaning up our environment, because we've all got a part to play. But there was the one lady there that pointed out, a lot of people don't have time, and especially the people actually doing the cleaning, they're pretty busy. They have a lot of jobs to do. They might not have time to be doing all this refillable stuff. They might just run to the shop, grab it, come back, and want to get on with it as quick as possible. So use what they've always used. But time will tell. We'll see if the amount of plastic in our landfills decreases, and whether refillable products like this gradually take over the shelves in our supermarkets. We actually went into our local supermarket and couldn't find the refillable pouches. So that could be because they're so popular they've already sold out. It could be because they are being rolled out piece by piece across the country. There could be a whole variety of reasons why we couldn't find the eco refill pouches. I'm sure they will appear there in the near future, but I suppose that is a barrier. If you turn up to get your refills and they're not there, you're probably just going to buy a normal bottle instead of waiting. So that supply chain issue will have to be something that's sorted out. But yeah, overall, I think it's very positive. I think the public were positive. Like I said, I love cleaning. I love Friday night, really getting home, cracking open a bottle and hitting the bathroom. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment and let us know what you think, whether you think this is a rubbish idea or whether you're actually going to run out now and buy some refillable tablets or pouches for your cleaning products around the home. But yeah, please like the video if you did like it. Subscribe, let us know what you thought, and yeah, get out there and have fun cleaning. Before you put your rubber gloves on and start cleaning, don't forget to subscribe.